the way.
Hello and welcome everyone. This is Shibani Gharat. Today we have a very special show. Storyboard and Twitter presents Best of Tweets. Brands leading the way. The pandemic has changed a lot for brands and businesses. The lockdown especially shifted our day-to-day transactions online, and functioning in the online ecosystem became the new normal. And it has been interesting to watch how companies are using online platforms and social media to reach out to and engage with their consumers. And to a great extent, it was seen how today's winning brands are those that are culturally relevant and leading with a purpose. Conversations drive culture, and we saw many kinds of conversations taking place on Twitter. How did brands partake in these conversations, and why is it important for brands and businesses today to be culturally relevant? Let's find out from Manish Maheshwari, Managing Director, Twitter India, Vikas Agarwal, General Manager, OnePlus India, Sapna Chadda, Senior Marketing Director, Google India and Southeast Asia, and Amarjeet Batra, Managing Director, India, Spotify. All of you, welcome to Storyboard.
Thank you, Shibani, for having us here.
So, Manish, I'll begin with you. 2020 has been an outlier year in all possible ways. What were the key conversations on Twitter, and how did brands partake in these conversations?
Yes, indeed, Shibani, this has been a very unique and interesting year. And internet usage among the Indian cities went up by 54% as per the Nielsen BARC report for April. And also tremendous growth in the internet users in India, which now hovers at 600 million. So Twitter is committed to serving the public conversation. And in the current COVID-19 pandemic, our role has never been more important. And our service has never been more useful to people to stay informed, stay connected, and also stay entertained, right? So let's start by talking about, what kind of conversation happening in the area of inform, right? So globally, as well as in India, people turn to Twitter when there is a crisis, when they want to ask relevant questions, get information. And people have been turning to Twitter to get information about, how the pandemic has been evolving, what kind of changes are happening in the lockdown, and various other information about health. And where we also have been doing a lot of work in terms of, working with the Ministry of Family and Health to ensure that people get authoritative information. Also, there's a dedicated events page where people can get relevant information about the pandemic. The other area where we do a lot of work and where we see a lot of action is around people staying connected and also staying entertained. Because in a world where we are physically distanced, technology and digital has emerged as one very important way in which people can stay connected virtually. And we see that people are finding joy in everyday conversation, talking about things about their passions, their hobby, their lifestyle. And also with no entertainment happening in the real world, people are turning to digital to stay entertained. All the major show launches are happening digitally online. And brands like Amazon Prime Video and Netflix, etc., are connecting with their community and their fans through Twitter and through other digital mediums.
Amarjeet and Sapna, how did you guys, coming from the brand side, how did you guys, engage with your audience, with your consumers around this time, when they're speaking about hobbies, when they're speaking about their concerns around the pandemic, around COVID-19, how did you guys engage with your audience?
As Spotify is a digital and technology brand, we anyway engage with our audiences in digitally in a big way. We found that during these times, our fans, our customers, our listeners, they were all engaging not only with Spotify a lot digitally, but they were also engaging with the artists, because that's something that we observed a lot. So we basically went where what the fans were talking about. So we engaged with our fans, with our audiences. And on Twitter also, we did some very interesting tweets and campaigns. So I can give you a particular one which we kind of did it at the World Music Day, which happened to be pretty popular with the people, with the Twitter audience, was a hashtag this campaign where we we basically mapped out all the emojis on which you can pick up from on Android and iOS, and we said you can play any emoji, and we can give you a playlist, find your playlist next to that. So people had a pretty interesting time engaging with that content, where they were posting different emojis and they were finding playlist which basically kind of was thrown up based on that emoji. And as you know, Spotify has about 4 billion playlists across the board, editorial and user generated. So it was much easier for us to find about 4,000 playlists as such. This is another one we did was very interesting. One was picked up from the audience. We found that one of the listeners, Twitters, they tweeted a particular cookie. It was Good Day, and they said that it looks like Spotify logo. And it was very interesting because we thought that why not, now this is an opportunity for us, why not kind of share it with others? We actually, which many brands may not want to do, we actually changed our logo on Twitter for a day, on Twitter handle for a day. And we converted the cookie into our logo there. And it became a talk of the day out there, and everybody started commenting on this and and we actually put the same picture which the person had posted on his page. So that actually drew some amazing engagement. And that's a couple of the ideas I can talk about more that we have been doing, engaging with the fans, engaging with the audiences digitally and especially on Twitter during these months.
Okay, Sapna, what kind of creative work has worked for you during the past couple of months, and any specific tools that you guys use? You know, Amarjeet spoke about using emojis. Any specific tool or any specific creative that really did wonders for you?
Twitter's been a great role for us to understand how people have been feeling, and we've been using it as a way to really understand and have a sounding board on what people are looking for. And what we found is that people are looking for help when it comes to education around entertainment. Where do I find what to watch? Where do I find education platform that will help my children during this time? Where can I find true stories of what's happening? And so there's not one thing that I would say, but I think the most important insight that we've tapped into is that we realized that people have wanted help. And so the need for us to be helpful through our products as well as through our creative and really come to the aid of our users during this really challenging time.
That's a great thought. People wanted help, and like you offered the best you can through the platform. Because we have seen a few years of digital disruption and transformation in the span of like a couple of months, with the entire transactions and e-commerce benefiting the most out of this. Transactions became online. You had a busy couple of past few months, with one launch after the other, starting with the 8, then 8 Pro, then your Buds and the TV, and now the most recent 8T. How did you use, in terms of marketing, how did you use, or, how did marketing online and specifically on Twitter give it a further boost?
The last 6 years, OnePlus has emerged as a leading brand in the industry, largely because of our digital-first approach. So from day one, we have been very active on the digital channels, and the digital channels really allowed us to reach out to our customers in a more personalized and a direct way. And that has really helped us create a very strong community and engagement. So recently, we have actually launched our biggest experience store in the world in Hyderabad, and that launch had happened on Twitter. Now, in a regular scenario, we would have done a physical launch and would have invited thousands of our users, but that was not possible. But we really found a support in Twitter where we were able to actually replicate a similar experience digitally. And we also had an unveil and a digital tour of the store with our community. So these are some of the ways where OnePlus has been able to leverage the power of social media, digital channels to maintain that engagement and interaction with its community. And if we look at the recent Diwali sale, it is one of the most important sale campaign for us. And again, the digital channels really helped us leverage this opportunity in the best possible manner.
Okay. Sticking to you, in fact, I want to ask you, you mentioned about a virtual launch of one of your biggest stores happening. Is, the virtual launch the new normal now? And will it continue in 2021?
I would agree that virtual launches are here to stay. And if you look at the virtual launches, they are more convenient, they are safer, they provide a better experience. They allow you to participate users across the world simultaneously and provide a much more immersive experience. So while we have seen the virtual launches getting popular now, but the infrastructure to support the virtual launches was already there. It's just that the brands have not been leveraging this platform earlier, and most of the brands were actually doing the physical launch and having a live stream of those launches. At OnePlus, I think we have always focused on connecting with our community in a very personalized manner. So even back in 2015, 2016, we had organized some of the earliest VR launches for our products. And recently for the OnePlus Nord, we had an AR launch. So I would say in future, we expect more brands to have a virtual first approach for their launch events. And I think the trend will probably be different for different industries. But for product launches, I think virtual will definitely be among the topmost priority.
Okay. Manish, coming to you, we've spoken about what were the kind of conversations that happened on Twitter, around the time of the pandemic, how brands came to the aid of the consumer during this time. Can you tell us how important is it for brands and businesses today to be culturally relevant, and how can they do so?
Yeah, so I think cultural relevance is very important, and Twitter has been the place where brands are connecting with their audiences through content which is culturally relevant. In fact, Twitter is the best place to do two things really well. One is to launch something new, and second is to connect with what's happening. Now, in the area of launch, in fact, this has been a very interesting year, and with no on-ground events happening, Twitter has emerged as the place to sort of do the launches, whether it's a new car or a new album or a new store that Vikas talked about. In fact, we have become the virtual roof to host any event. I'll give you a few examples of launches. So one is Hyundai. They did the entire launch of their Tucson car virtually through Twitter. And this was broadcasted live, and they got a viewership of over 1 million in just a matter of 12 hours. Second thing, I want to talk about Spotify. I think amazing work done by the Spotify team and Spotify India team, where they did this listening party and a launch of Diljit Dosanjh's latest album, GOAT, the greatest of all times. And this was an amazing activation, which got so much engagement and so much positive response on Twitter. And finally, Vikas already talked about the launch of their largest store in Hyderabad. And this was an amazing example of how they did a live broadcast of this, and people could literally unveil the store by simply pressing the heart button on the live telecast. So great example of URL to real life activation. The second thing you talked about is cultural relevance. So that is where I think we connect. We do the work of helping brands connect with what is culturally relevant. In fact, I want to call out the amazing work done by Google India for their recent Google for India event, where they connected with their fans and online community through Twitter, and also making sure that each of them attend the event virtually. And this was a very unique year where this entire event was done virtually, and how they engaged with their audience through real-time addressing their questions and also setting tweets and reminders. The second example where a brand which has done a very good job in connecting culturally very well is Coke. For the recent Diwali campaign, they took a promoted trend spotlight so that anyone who signed into Twitter on that day get to see their messaging. And they talked about positivity. They talk about the spirit of togetherness and festivity at a time when we are so separated from our loved ones. And each of us probably spent their Diwali just within the confines of their home. But through connecting on a platform or a service like Twitter, they could get that positivity and that positive sense. So that was another thing I want to talk about. So clearly, cultural relevance is very important, and Twitter is the way where brands are able to connect with the cultural zeitgeist of the country.
Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard and Twitter presents Best of Tweets, brands leading the way. And we are speaking about why is it important for brands and businesses today to be culturally relevant and how they can take part in conversations. And we have with us Manish Maheshwari, Managing Director, Twitter India, Vikas Agarwal, General Manager, OnePlus India, Sapna Chadda, Senior Marketing Director, Google India and Southeast Asia, and Amarjeet Batra, Managing Director, India, Spotify. Amarjeet, I wanted to ask you, because I have seen Spotify launch campaigns digitally first and then taking it to TV in the past. Social as a medium provides you with instant feedback. What is the best way, according to you, do you think a brand should react in case of, let's say, an unexpected negative feedback on a campaign, that they have released recently? What is the best way to navigate such a situation?
We have been doing both digital first campaigns as well as more T-leds. And I think any campaign that you do normally generates different reactions and feedback from people. I think luckily we have not seen any negative feedback for Spotify communication so far. But I think my advice there is that I think there are two things to do. One is the preventive. How much time do you spend to look at what you are bringing as a creative, whether it is digital, whether it is on TV, whether on any mediums, on how that is kind of not hurting any sensitivities and it's a cultural norm of the country. The second is once that is there, once you've done that, if there are reactions to that, I think how do you react to that? I think is not something that you have a playbook kind of a design for it, but you have to take it as it goes. Because if it is culturally insensitive at some stage and you miss that out, then I think you might need to work and correct that. And in case it is something else, then you need to react differently. So I don't think there is a cookie cutter response to that. But I think I would encourage marketers as well as every brand to be a bit more aware, and we actually keep trying to also be aware of what's happening in the country and how we are reflecting in our communication, which is not jarring to the whole public.
Okay,
that's important.
Coming back to Manish, how have brands taken on crisis marketing, and who do you think is doing a good job?
So there are quite a few good examples. First of all, let me just give you a sense of what's really happening and what we are seeing. I think with COVID, a lot of long-held beliefs have been questioned, and brands have to adjust to that. So they have to adjust to the change of in the fact that communication has all turned digital. Secondly, virtual launches are here to stay. There's so much more happening virtually. And the third is the tone of the voice is also very important. It's important not just to be empathetic, but also to convey that through the tone. The second part is around understanding what people need. And I think Twitter does a very good job because it's a real-time conversational medium. You get to hear from your audience in real time, so you can get a sense of what's going on. And finally, important to build positivity and community. In terms of understanding what people need, during the pandemic, we noticed that a brand like Ariel launched a campaign called Share the Load, where they talked about the challenges that homemakers are facing, juggling between their professional commitments and with their work at home. And they launched this entire campaign on Share the Load, which was quite well taken. Also, OnePlus did an amazing documentary called United by Hope, where they talked about the life of 12 people and how they were coping with the pandemic. So that built a lot of empathy and a lot of positivity for them as a brand, and also in general helped them connect. So I can go on, but I think there are quite a few brands that are doing very good job. Also, I can talk about example of how brands are spreading positivity and levity in a time where things are pretty grim. For example, Flipkart did an activation with us for their Big Billion Day, which is their largest flagship sale, where an emoji engine was activated and people could tweet with an emoji representing something that they want to buy, and they would get a reply back from the handle with the best deal corresponding to that emoji. One brand did an amazing job was BMW, where they ran a campaign or an activation for the launch of their new car series, where people could simply tweet #irresistible to the BMW India brand handle, and that would unlock, or that will talk about a new feature in the car and that created a very high engagement. So there are quite a few interesting examples in the country where brands are doing some amazing work, not just connecting with the relevant audience, but also spreading a lot of positivity, a lot of hope, and maintaining the right tone of voice as well.
Okay. Sapna, on this note, conversations that brands are having with consumers has increased manifold over the past couple of months. What role, let's say, does, this connect between brands and consumers play when it comes to learning and adapting to the change?
Yeah, with consumers spending more time on digital media, I think it's imperative for brands to strike the right balance, both engaging with customers in a meaningful way, but maintaining the right tone and getting their brand purpose out there. And I think social media isn't just a great place to share a brand's point of view, but also to listen. And I think this is one of those under-leveraged aspects of social and what you can get from a platform like Twitter. Our users have opinions. They're not afraid to share them, and it's becoming increasingly critical to make sure that we're saying what resonates with what they're feeling at that moment. And this changes every few hours, right? Like the sentiment is not the same from one day to the other in the world that we're in. And so to have a conversation, you have to be focused on listening. And that's why conversations have increased from our standpoint, when we've been listening. We've seen fluctuating modes, we've seen opinions changing, and people are on edge and unforgiving of brands as well during this time. And so brands need to find an effective way to observe these changes, build a voice, have purpose, as as Amarjeet and Manish have shared, and then understand and build messages that stand out from the noise, because there's a lot of noise in the world that we're in, and you need to stand out by being helpful and being really in the time. So the conversations, you have to really connect through listening. I think that's the most important lesson that we've learned this year.
Okay, Vikas, can you tell us the role that Twitter has played, for the brand, let's say, to champion a completely different business strategy? I know you guys take feedback from your very strong community of users that you have. So has, Twitter played a role in, putting across a completely different business strategy for you guys?
If you look at a brand perspective, it's very difficult to engage with the user over a sustainable period, right? So if you look at the kind of activities that the brand OnePlus has done in the past, the constant endeavor is to really connect with users in a way that the customers are likely to remember. So last year we had organized the OnePlus Music Festival. This year we had organized a gaming event called OnePlus Dominate. And we were able to leverage the reach from Twitter to connect with our users. And also, if you look at the social campaigns that we have done, such as there was a Christmas giveaway last year for the OnePlus Red Cable Club, and we were able to give a gift to underprivileged children who had tweeted on the OnePlus channel on Twitter. So this really allowed us to make the Christmas celebration happier for a segment which was not otherwise able to enjoy that moment around New Year. Prior to that, we had also organized a campaign to celebrate the 1500 days of the Oxygen OS, which is one of the most loved operating system from OnePlus. And again, the activity there was for the people who are actually tweeting on Twitter around the hashtag the OnePlus Oxygen OS. We were able to plant a tree for every tweet. So this not just help us do a good for the community, but also engage with our users in a more meaningful manner.
Okay. Finally, before we go, Manish, a lot of us are spending time working from home, learning, shopping, everything is happening from home. In fact, how will it impact businesses in the days to come?
Yeah, in fact, I mean, what is interesting right now is digital has become not just the, it has become the primary driver for growth and also scaling things up. And clearly, our view is that more and more brands will turn to digital to launch, whether it's launching a new product or a new service or launching a new messaging about who they stand for. And we'll see that grow even more. So brands will leverage digital for launching something new. At the same time, because all the conversations are happening online, and Twitter is the conversational layer of the internet, we also will notice a lot more brands leveraging this ability to connect with their relevant user base, their consumers, stay in touch with what's happening, and also deliver value by being able to do what is right for their customers at that point in time. In fact, if I look at the data, there has been tremendous growth in video active user minutes on our platform. In fact, I was just looking at the data. There's a 133% Y-on-Y increase in video active user minutes in March of 2020 as compared to last year. And also the tweet volume they have shot through the roof, 181% Y-on-Y increase in tweet volume. And clearly, brands that will leverage that will be able to benefit and grow the business.
Absolutely. The transformation hasn't happened with this kind of pace and this kind of urgency. Well, thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you, Shibani.
Thank you, Shibani.
Thank you, Shibani.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back same time next week. See you soon.